What is going on, all my sci-fi cosmic horror fans out there? It's your boy Fat Samurai Guy back again with another episode of our brand new series, Our Favorite Motherfucking Movies. That's right. And back in the heezy, back in the dojo, we have actor, filmmaker, stuntman, martial artist, all that good shit. Alex Chung, welcome back, my friend.
Thanks for having me back. I'm super excited to talk about this movie.
Yeah, man. Event Horizon. This came out way back in the day, 1997, so there will be some spoiler talk. So sorry, guys, there will be some spoilers. But before we jump right into it, man, where were you when you saw this movie? How long ago? Did you see it in theater or on video?
I saw the trailer in theaters, and after the first few seconds, I was like, is this Alien 4? Because Resurrection, I think Resurrection came out the same year, but I don't think I was aware of it just yet. I think this trailer came out a bit earlier, and I was very intrigued. I was like, oh, it's the guy from Jurassic Park, and it's, space horror, which I was really into. I was a kid. That's why I'm doing that voice, okay?
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah.
I couldn't see in theaters, but I saw it on VHS, like I did many movies from the 90s, like Ravenous, and it scared the shit out of me. I was way too young to see that movie, especially this movie. It's pretty hardcore, even for genre veterans, I think.
Oh, yeah. And, man, similar to you, I saw the trailer in theater, and me and my buddy were like, yo, we got to check this out, man.
Can't leave. She won't let you. God help us.
And we actually did see this in theater, and we were not prepared or ready for what we were about to see. And I'm not over-exaggerating. When we left the theater, we walked out of the doors. We stopped. We both slowly turned at each other, looked at each other, and we were like, we had to take a breath, man. We were like, yo, that was fucking wild, dude. Like, we were not prepared at all.
You weren't dancing out of the theater because of the Prodigy playing over the end credits?
I did like that shit, man.
Yeah.
The soundtrack to this movie is phenomenal, and we both own it, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I listen to it constantly. Like, I've seen the movie a handful of times, but I've listened to the soundtrack over and over and over again throughout most of my life.
Dude, I mean, R.I.P. the legend Michael Kamen, one of the greatest composers of all time. He did a phenomenal soundtrack for this movie, and he had a little bit of Orbital mixed in there. And rewatching this the other day, I had some fun. Like that, the whole opening credits sequence is like dope, man. Like it gets you in the mood. It's like perfect. But yeah, let's jump into Event Horizon 1997. Quick plot synopsis for those of you that have not seen it. It's about a rescue crew investigates a spaceship that disappeared into a black hole and has now returned with someone or something new on board. Directed, I know this is shocking. Especially after rewatching this the other day. Still to this day, I would never have guessed that this was directed by Paul W.S. Anderson.
No.
Yes, never. It's still, after rewatching it, it still does not feel, cinematography-wise, everything. Like, it still does not feel like a Paul W.S. Anderson movie. And a credit to the script, credit to the filmmakers involved with this film. And, are we safe to say? I mean, everybody has their guilty pleasure film with Paul. Are me and you safe to say that overall this is probably his best movie? What do you think, Alex? What do you think about
This is definitely his best movie.
Yeah. But a plethora of amazing cast members is here, man. We got Lawrence Fishburne as Miller, Sam Neill as Weir, Dr. Weir. I mean, we have Kathleen Quaylen as Peters, Jolie Richardson as Stark, Richard T. Jones as Cooper. I mean, just Jason Isaac's son is in this as DJ. He's like the medic. And my introduction to one of my favorite actors now, Sean Pertwee, That's right. This is before Dog Soldiers and all that stuff. Before I became a big fan of this guy. But yeah, just an awesome group of actors, very talented group of actors in this movie. But man, this movie has a little bit of everything that makes it unique and great, and not just the suspense building, not just the horror, not just the a little bit of action there too. You got some explosions, you got your sci-fi, you got your ships and all that, but it really has a little bit of everything in terms of filmmaking as well. In terms of, we have models, we're still using models. It's not fully, we're going, everything is CGI in this. We're using a little bit of, a little bit of everything, and a lot of this movie still holds up. It still holds up. What do you think?
No, agreed. Yeah, I definitely watching it again. There's moments like the when the gateway opens, you've got the wall of black liquid.
Yeah.
That's obviously dated effects, but a lot of it, especially and obviously the practical stuff, is like incredible. And I think visually it all comes together so well. Some really interesting shots, some really interesting models, and mixing
Yeah.
some
And this,
CG and practical, and
yeah, yeah. And this, I
the
believe,
ship interiors,
this was a full scale model right here, correct?
like 1:1 scale.
Yeah. Yeah, the one scale. Yeah.
While
yeah,
James Cameron was rebuilding Titanic, they built the freaking Event Horizon just outside of Earth.
But yeah, a lot of the visuals do hold up. Of course, you're going to get some dated stuff, but overall, it's still fantastic to watch. And again, a great cast we have in this, and we have Captain Miller here, played by our boy Morpheus. Speaking of Morpheus, what do you think, Alex? Do you think that this role got him the gig as Morpheus in The Matrix? Do you think?
You read my mind. I was wondering, before being captain of the Nebuchadnezzar, was his time on Lewis and Clark what earned him?
Yeah.
I mean, my fiance kind of walked by while I was watching it, and she had seen the movie before, but she was just commenting like, Lawrence Fishburne has a very authoritative voice in this. I'm like, yeah, he's the captain of the ship. I mean, I definitely think it had to have. It might be a coincidence, but it had to have factored in, because that quality definitely transfers with not just being the captain of the ship, but just that character quality.
Oh yeah,
he's someone you listen to.
Yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. We don't know, but it's an interesting theory we both brought up here, that this got him the gig for Morpheus, because he's the captain of the ship, taking charge. But I mean, Sam Neill kills it. Everybody kills it in this. Have you seen Sam Neill play a lot of villains?
Like now, or at the time when I first saw the movie?
Around this time?
No, I hadn't. I hadn't seen his more villainous stuff. I was just I mainly known him from Jurassic Park.
Right.
And it was a good kind of. I mean, not only is the cast great, the characters are great.
Yes.
Like every single member of this crew, they're very well realized. They all have very distinct personalities. They're introduced in a very organic way. A lot of these movies, especially sci-fi movies, where they introduce a crew or a group of soldiers, and they lack personality, or they introduce them too many at a time, and you can't really keep track. I felt like with this movie, you really do get to know everyone, and everyone serves a purpose, and it doesn't feel like, as an audience member, you're struggling to keep up. It's like you're in there, you're meeting the crew. It's kind of organic, and it really works. And I think that's super important for a movie like this. They're not just there to be killed off.
Right. And yeah, you've nailed it. Like every single character, you get to know the personality, what makes them tick. Especially Isaac's character as the medic. He's very standoffish. He's
great.
But. We got Pertwee as the pilot, but and of course we have we got our brother here who is the comic relief, and I'm curious. I mean, the line is, he goes, "You want something black and hot inside you or something like that. He tells the girl, which is hilarious. I'm sure that would be considered sexual harassment now, but I'm going with the fact that they got that kind of relationship, friendship. I'm going with that. All right,
Yeah, because you have to.
because she hit him back with some shit too. I think they got that kind of,
Yeah. Because who he's saying it to is one of my favorite characters, Stark. I think she's great because she's very intelligent. She's very tough. Putting Sam Neill in that arm lock there. She's very capable and kind of and she throughout the whole film she never does anything. Actually, one of my favorite things about this movie that I don't know if people talk about enough is the fact that for once the characters in a sci-fi horror movie are not stupid, not doing anything stupid. They're doing exactly what I would do, and they're saying the things that I would say in those situations. They're very, my favorite part is when they're watching the footage of the old crew.
Oh my God.
And as soon as it ends, Lawrence Fishburne looks on and just says, "We're leaving."
Not
only are they planning on leaving, they're planning on getting to a safe distance and firing missiles until they destroy it.
Yeah.
And then they're leaving.
Yeah, he's like, fuck this. He's like, we are out. No. Everybody saw that shit, right? No, we're out. But yeah, no, you've nailed it. And if it seems like they've done something out of the norm or something that may be considered horror cliche idiotic, is really because of the ship.
Yeah, it's very understandable. Like they're under the influence of the ship. It's their deepest, darkest fears are, they're at the mercy of those things. Like any common person would be. So it's totally understandable.
You have Weir dealing with the death of his wife. You have the mother dealing with her, the issues with her son. Everyone has these demons, especially later when it's revealed. Fishburne had to leave one of his men behind to die, and it's the ship, because of where it's been, which I feel is I love that they didn't blatantly tell you where it went. The easiest thing is to say, hey, it went to another dimension. It just went to hell, unfortunately. Fucked up the crew, the original crew that was on the ship, and now it's back, and now we have this new crew investigating. But the sky's the limit. And a lot of fans over the years have come up with so many other theories. They brought in some Lovecraftian type of theories.
It's perfectly set up for it.
Yeah, for sure. So we have our team. They're Dr. Weir created the ship, and now that it's back, he's bringing in this new crew. They're not happy about it. They're like, "Hey, man, we were just on fucking leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to be here. What's going on?" Now, some fans have pointed out the Weir's explanation of. Do you want to explain that, of how one get from one point to the other point? Like, because they were saying that. In their words, light speed doesn't exist, right? Like it's not possible. Like
or you can't go faster than light speed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So how he explained it, you want to explain how he did it?
Sure. I think they also explained this in Interstellar, because when I saw that.
That's what I was going to say. Fans have brought up that Christopher Nolan fucking ripped off ideas from this movie.
Yeah.
For Interstellar. So I just want to point that out. But yeah, go ahead and explain that to people that have not.
Yeah, Dr. Weir used a piece of paper as an example, as like if the piece of paper were space, and you want to get from one point to the other, what the ship does, the gravity drive, or whatever it's called, it bends space, so he just folds the paper so that the 2 points exist in the same space. And then he uses the pencil, you just pass through, and then space returns to normal. So that's kind of how it works. They create a black hole so that they essentially teleport.
Right.
Essentially.
Right.
But they bend time and space. It's pretty abstract. It's simplified in the movie, but if you think about it, I know nothing about these things, and I assume it's far more complicated than Than
it's a sound idea. It's fun, and it works.
It's sci-fi.
It works for the film.
Yeah.
But did you get, rewatching the movie? Did you get like a 3D vibe?
For not really, but now that you mention it, I guess this would have been a perfect movie to do 3D because, I mean, not just these shots of zero gravity CG objects floating about, but there's a lot of the camera work,
Yeah.
at times is Raimi-esque in my opinion.
Mhm.
Things, like pushing in, really aggressively or pulling out, and I feel like it could have been a cool 3D movie.
Yeah, I'm
But I
sure
never
if it.
thought of that. Interesting.
Yeah, because a lot of things fly towards the camera.
Yeah.
And I was always thought about that.
It'd be horrifying in 3D actually now that I think about it. Especially the visions.
Oh my god,
hell,
dude!
all that. Oh my
People
goodness.
be freaking the fuck out. So obviously they're searching the ship. That now that it's back, and not looking too good there. they're finding some spots, and they're like, what the fuck
Wow, that's a great
actually happened here? What the hell happened? But yeah, more exploring and just absolutely great visuals
Oh
in
yeah,
this.
for sure.
Just phenomenal visuals. And then they I love this shot here when one of the dead bodies floating around. As soon as they get gravity back online, it crashes and breaks like that, which was kind of cool. But is this the visuals you were talking about? When it looked a little dated.
Well, not this particular shot,
okay.
but it's when I think his name's right there. I was like, I think his name is Justin. He gets pulled into the actual black hole or black liquid.
Right. Gotcha. When he gets yanked in, yeah. But yeah, we're still exploring the ship, and he discovers the heart of the ship, the core of the ship. And man, the visuals for this thing is fucking phenomenal, dude. You don't see shit like this right now.
No, actually, it's interesting.
Phenomenal.
I actually think if for video game fans, if you ever played Silent Hill 4: The Room, there is a part where there's like this giant device that looks very similar to that. I'm betting that it was an influence on it because Silent Hill is influenced by Jacob's Ladder and all sorts of movies. I'm sure Event Horizon, especially with the subject matter and the hell visuals. But like, it just made me think of kind of you bringing up it possibly being a 3D movie. That would have looked great in 3D, actually.
Dude, yeah.
Just that spinning.
I mean, the design is just
very Hellraiser-ish.
Yes, just absolutely amazing design. I mean, look at that thing.
This whole room, actually, this is a set. I mean,
yeah, it's fucking phenomenal. It's phenomenal. But yeah, like you said, he gets sucked in, comes back out. He is not the same person. The dark. Yeah, he is all fucked up, and he actually tries to kill himself. And this was an entertaining little action set piece here, where our Captain Miller had to kind of help save the day, all for naught, of course. But another thing that was interesting was going back to your character. Your favorite? Is she your favorite character of the movie, or one?
I don't know if she's my favorite. I mean, that's the thing. There's so many great characters. It's hard to pick a favorite, but she's definitely very memorable to me because she's just this really competent, really strong character who's this survivor. This force through the film, and and she's got a sexy accent too. But she's actually one of the few characters that doesn't reveal her fears or hallucinations if there are any, which is interesting.
Right. Oh yeah, that's a good point. That is interesting.
But I love how in this particular scene, if I'm correct in timing this scene, is when she gives her theory about how the ship has like readings, like it's got like there's life form readings all over it, and that they're under the influence of the ship's defense mechanism.
Yeah.
And it sounds crazy, but I feel like it's more realistic in that situation for her to come to that conclusion than to be like, well, I think I should just stay rational, and there's no possible way that the ship is alive. I feel like she's just like, look, this is the best explanation I could come up with.
Yeah.
I don't care how crazy it sounds. This is this is what I see happening, and it's like,
and Miller doesn't necessarily dismiss it right away.
No.
Yeah, he thinks about it. He's like, interesting. But I mean, as soon as we arrive here, Weir's already acting strange. you know. And of course, it is a very good scene with Stark, because bringing up that theory, because people are seeing fucked up shit. They don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
You know, they're seeing weird shit.
Yeah. It's
And-
frustrating when
Yeah.
characters take too long to catch on to what's going on, you know?
Right.
They're like,
right,
we're
right.
adults, we don't believe in ghosts and
Yeah.
goblins, and then people are dying left and right. But here they're like, you know, they're like
Yeah.
they're right there with the audience. It's like, no, I think this is what's happening, you know?
Yeah.
Another reason
But yeah,
it's
you're
likable.
but yeah, you're correct, and especially with Miller was like, "Are you telling me this ship is alive?" You know, it's, you know, no one wants to jump to the conclusion right away that, oh yeah, that's what it is,
Yeah.
until it's too late, man. You know, that's the Steven Spielberg shot we got going there. Until it's too late, and then things get even more crazy, and now we got it again. I love this movie, man. We got to talk about when they finally, I know you briefly mentioned it earlier, but we got to talk about the surveillance footage. They finally got it. They finally cleaned it up and got it to work, to find out what the fuck happened to the previous crew on the ship. And dude, I mean, it is like it's chaos, dude. It is like nightmare fuel. I mean, look at this shit. Are you guys watching this right now? I mean, it is fucking insanity, bro. Like, it is crazy, dude. It is nightmare fuel. And of course, you know what you mentioned earlier, after that they're like, all right, we need to get the fuck out. Like, natural reaction, right?
Yeah.
Like, we need to get, we it's time to go. It's time to go.
Yeah.
But just fucking nuts, man. Fucking nuts. I did enjoy the earlier sequence. Was it earlier or later when Isaacs was talking to Miller, and he was saying he whatchamacallit, translated what this motherfucker was saying.
It was before this.
Okay.
Because he translates the in hell part. Actually,
Right.
so it's comprehensible to people. I actually they do a really good job of peeling back the layers of what had happened. You know, it's not like they get there and they find out exactly what happened, because then why would they stay, right? They hear it only through audio at first, and there's a bit of Latin spoken, and you know, Jason Isaacs' character translates it on the spot. He's like, it sounds like "save me," right?
Right.
And then later he's like, I was wrong with the translations. It's "save yourself," and it
Mhm.
gets worse. I
Yeah.
love that. It's like, it gets worse.
Yeah.
It's like "save yourself from hell."
From
And then when they watch the
hell.
video, you see him speak those words.
Right.
I think it's "liberate tutte me ex feris."
Yeah. He's holding his eyeballs. Yeah.
Oh my god! Apparently, Paul W.S. Anderson like shot a lot of footage, and I think they used amputees and adult film actors for more realism and to be more gruesome.
Right.
And obviously, we're all just wanting to see that footage, you know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we were lucky to get what we got in this movie, but of course, fans have been wanting for years an extended version or an unrated. But you know, I know it's a never say never, but it's kind of not looking like it's gonna come out. But you know, who knows? Who knows? You know. But yeah, I'm gonna admit it right here, man. I think the blood orgy was hot. You know, I'm just gonna.
Different strokes for different folks.
But yeah, it's time to bounce. It's time to go.
Yeah.
But at this point, Dr. Weir is gone. He dug his eyeballs out. He's a slave to the ship, and it doesn't go well for Isaac's character, man.
Oh my goodness!
Like, it does not go well for DJ here, and you know, and this is what I'm talking about. I mean, everyone, you know, with the new Hellraiser movie, which I thought was a very solid effort. I thought it was a very solid reboot. I thought it was good. But I didn't think it was great. But this is what I'm talking about. Everyone talking about how ridiculously, insanely gory the new Hellraiser movie is. Event Horizon says, "Hold my beer." Okay, hold my beer. And this is the 90s. This is the 90s. Okay, this is what we're talking about. But things get crazy, man. People start dying left and right. Things start getting really exciting. This is a great shot with our two badasses right here. And then just this motherfucker just shows up.
The makeup effects are so good, especially
Oh,
in
I
that
know.
lighting.
Oh, I
just
know.
couldn't stop thinking about how
I
great this
know.
looks.
Yeah. If you guys, hey, next, I know we just passed Halloween, but put it on your list for Halloween watch for next year for sure. But I love the scene there. He goes, "Where we're going, we won't need eyes to see."
Sorry, Dr. Emmett Brown.
Right. A demented version of that, right?
I thought you were gonna say next Halloween people should dress up as Dr. Weir in the third act.
That would be amazing. That would be
dope.
awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, things get even more insane and crazy in terms of the ship starts bleeding. I mean,
Yep.
there's blood everywhere. For all you Shining fans, I'm sure you guys would enjoy this sequence. I'm wondering, Alex, what do you think? With all of this blood letting, especially when the ship starts bleeding blood, just for the fuck of it, just to fuck with people. Do you think this scene right here is one of the reasons where they're like, all right, let's kind of cut down the blood orgy scene footage a little and the reveal of what hell looks like at the end with some of the characters because of we just have gallons of blood just streaming? Do you think it was like too over for us? It's like this is Tuesday.
Yeah.
But yeah, baby. Street Fighter in Bison's son. That's right. uh, but do you think? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, sometimes the MPAA can become bitches and just cut just because. Oh, think of the children.
Well, the thing about the gore is this led to me having kind of like a sad movie watching experience for Paul W.S. Anderson's later films, because Mortal Kombat is fun.
Yeah.
But it's not. It doesn't have. I mean, it has very little violence from the games. Like you have some fatalities and
right.
some cool. But like for the most part, it's not like
it's not gore. It's not gory.
Yeah. And then of course that was before Event Horizon. When I found out he was doing Resident Evil, I thought, oh, perfect. The guy who did Event Horizon. I was so excited. Excited. And yes, Resident Evil's rated R, but it's rated R because some crazy person thought it should be.
Right.
It was pretty tame. It was a very tame R.
Right.
And then Alien vs. Predator was PG, at least where I saw it.
PG-13, yeah. Over here, yeah. It wasn't R.
Okay, in Canada it was PG.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah. Because, again, you go back to this movie, you see just how hard they're pushing the envelope.
Yeah. Oh, man, I got some images to show a little bit later, too. But no, you're right. I could see you kind of being disappointed with Resident Evil in a way, even though, a lot of people find that first film fun and for what it is. But in terms of this shit, not even close. Not even close. But just amazing visuals. Look at this shit. Are you guys looking at this shit? Just absolutely Lovecraftian horror, cosmic horror. This is what it's all about, dude.
Yeah.
And what annoys me sometimes is I feel, not I feel, but I've heard people say, I love Ghost Ship. I absolutely love and adore Ghost Ship, but I hate Event Horizon. I can't stand Event Horizon. Horror in space, and the hell and demons in space, blah, 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 blah. But I love Ghost Ship. I'm like, really?
I love Ghost Ship too. It's a great short film.
But I'm just saying, you have a ship that's haunted.
Yeah.
In a way, you can look at Event Horizon as a haunted ship, but it's just for the fact that it's in space. A lot of people are like, oh, I can't handle it. Even the almighty Red Letter Media is like, oh, I can't. Oh, it's just Hellraiser in space. I'm like, you guys completely missed the point. You missed the point, as much as I enjoy watching those guys once in a while. But yeah, it's just like, come on. Come on now. There's not that many movies out there where a ship goes through a black hole, goes to hell, and comes back. Okay, this is
Yeah,
this is
so
fucking unique. There is
Yeah.
nothing like this. Okay, some imagery reminds you of The Shining a little bit. Okay, fine. Some imagery may remind you of Hellraiser a little bit. Fine, that's perfectly fine. But the script is unique. You know, the movie's unique. There's been nothing like this since. Nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get to the finale here. It's getting fucking nuts. And now, you know, we have this sequence here. Again, you want to explain what's going on really quickly here?
I get the feeling that the finale is a result of some reshoots, maybe, but basically, Miller, Lawrence Fishburne's character, he's haunted by this crew member he left behind, got burnt, and he's keeps seeing him, this guy on this Human Torch fella, and then he turns into Weir,
Yeah,
like Weir gone full Hellraiser,
right.
and they have a bit of a scuffle. They have a bit
Yeah,
of
you got
fisticuffs.
a little bit of a fight there. You
Yeah.
know, the way Miller was fighting and hitting Weir, he was like the way he was saying words as he was hitting. It
Yeah.
was reminding me of Captain Kirk from Star Trek 3. You know, where he's like, "I have had enough of you." You know, it was kind of reminding me of that. I don't know if Philip did that on purpose when he wrote the script just for fun. But yeah, it's cool. Hey, you know us, we love us some action, so we got a little bit of action there.
Yeah.
But dude, I mean, but yeah, this was uh, his nightmare come alive. It was the guy he left behind that Captain Miller was talking about earlier that morphs into Weir. And I want you guys to look at this shot right here, everybody watching. Are you fucking kidding me? Look at this shot. This is horror. This is horror. Are you fucking kidding me with your fucking ghost ship? Fuck Ghost Ship. All right, seriously. Everybody knows the best part of Ghost Ship is the first 5 minutes, and that's it. All right, but look at this shit. Fuck Hellraiser reboot. Fuck that. This is where it's at. This is the 90s. No holds barred. But right here, he's showing he's torturing Miller here. He's like, there's no escape. There's nothing you can do. Give in to it. And he gives him glimpses and visions of what's happening to his crew that are already dead, or what could happen to the crew that aren't dead yet. And again, just more nightmare fuel here. And I mean, look at this crazy shit, man. Like, look at all this shit, dude. I mean, they had to speed it up really quickly.
Yeah, you only get glimpses, but
dude, it's fucking nuts.
It gets
fucking
the job done.
Ghost Ship. The fuck out of here, dude. You know, and of course, you know, me and my buddies, when we got this on DVD, you know, we had to freeze frame a lot of shit.
Oh yeah,
especially during the blood orgy sequence, because we want to learn, you know, filmmaking process. We want to learn, you know. That's one of the reasons why we freeze frame some of that. But but yeah, especially with this crazy, insane, fucking nuts shit.
Yeah,
we freeze framed a few images, and look at this shit, dude. It's almost beautiful. It's almost beautiful. You know, I mean, and this next shot, and this is what I'm talking about. Event Horizon telling the new Hellraiser to hold my beer and fucking Ghost Ship. Look at this one still.
Woo!
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
That's Stark in the middle too.
Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me right now? This is the nightmare fuel. This is horror. This is amazing practical and makeup effects. This is the shit you don't want to dream about when you go to bed at night. Fucking Ghost Ship.
This is like a geek deep cut, but that image reminds me of, I don't know if it was the late 90s or early 2000s, but Todd McFarlane made these action figures based on Clive Barker called Torture Souls.
Yes, I remember those. Yeah,
they were sick. They are actually beautiful pieces of art, but they're pretty much like that, just like insane imagery. And that's the thing, is like, this movie really is unique for all the reasons we stated, but also just when it comes to movies about hell or involving hell, which are some of my favorites.
Yeah,
they they really went for it in a way a lot of movies just they just come up short, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what they toned this down, you know. Like we want more, but I still feel satisfied after seeing this. Even if we get short glimpses, it gets the job done. It has that effect, and it really it stays with you. It's some gnarly stuff.
And if you want, you could just go back and freeze frame it like me.
Yeah, because
I remember a lot of those freeze framed things, moments.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of those shots were actually on the cover of Fangoria magazines during that time. Yeah, because everyone was really excited and pumped. They were like, dude, are you guys seeing this shit? But yeah, Miller's not going out like no punk. He's like, I see. And he detonates the ship, blows it up. And the pod part of the ship that escapes we have two of the remaining crew left, and they get picked up and they get picked up by a rescue team. And I love how the camera slowly pans backwards, and the doors of the ship slowly close shut. And while that's happening, we have our boy telling Stark, don't worry, we're safe. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We're safe. And the doors close shut into darkness. And then credits. Yeah. And then Prodigy, baby.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. This is it gets you pumped. It's fucking fantastic. I know in terms of nitpicking, a lot of people thought that this character was maybe a little bit too much, especially in the third act, of him being kind of the comedic relief. I thought that was just. I thought I get that a little bit, but I kind of thought that was just his personality. What did you think?
I mean, I feel like his personality is pretty consistent, so I didn't have an issue with it. I feel like, in the late '90s, it fit like that kind of character. I think looking at it now, yeah, it might feel a lot of place. It might feel a little weird, but watching it again, I did enjoy him because there's a real person there. He's not just the jokes he cracks. He cares about his crew members.
Yeah.
He respects. Contrary to what it may seem like, he respects his crew members. That's the other thing is like, there is a relationship between the characters that is there, and it really strengthens this movie. That you feel like they've known each other. You feel like they've been through some shit together.
Oh yeah.
And they pull their weight. They have each other's backs, and it's tragic when one by one they're just getting taken out.
Yeah.
It's. I feel like because we focus on the gore, we focus on the visuals, but really the characters really strong in this.
Yes.
Because this is a very typical setup, right? You've got a handful of people, and most of them are going to die.
Right.
But it's especially important in this movie where it's about what's inside, what's in your head. Trauma and dark, deep fears.
Dealing with your past demons.
Yeah.
And having those demons come to haunt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a question about Miller. So, at the end, he's detonating the bridge, the middle portion of the ship, to separate where he is, the heart of the ship, and also and separating that from the pod where his crew escapes.
Right.
And you see the bridge explode, and then you see because the portal's opening, it's like, we're going back to hell. You want to see what it looks like? We're going, and then it kind of gets sucked into a hole. So, did Miller go to hell? Because he didn't blow up. He only separated the two parts of the ship. They didn't blow up.
Sequel. No,
because that's a really
that's an interesting
kind of
theory.
notion.
Yeah.
Because you don't see, again, like their portion of the ship didn't blow up. I think the point was to separate his crew so they don't get pulled into the portal as well. So it's just him and Weir that ended up going through
he could be
the ultimate sacrifice.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he could be. I know, right? And another thing I forgot to bring up here when the movie's ending, one of the rescue crew members, he keeps yelling for help. Like he's saying, "Back up!" You guys gonna like no one's answering him. He keeps talking over and over and over and over again. You notice that? and no one answers him. You know, the ship they came from. So yeah, they're fucked. I'm going with the theory that any part of the ship, you're fucked. Even if it's
that makes sense. It's like it's still a part of the ship, and I think that's done on purpose. Where it's like, oh, they got away, but there's still that chance because it's technically there's still part of the ship, right?
Yeah. But yeah, beautifully haunting, nightmarish, great cast, great visuals, amazing soundtrack. This film should have did a lot better when it came out. Nobody was ready, even in the 90s. Nobody was ready, but now, thankfully, badasses like us and all of you guys that are fans of the film that are watching right now, the cult following has grown. A lot of more people now are. When I watched the trailer recently, and in the comments, hundreds of comments of people like, "Dude, this movie was great. Why aren't people talking about this? Oh, I love this movie now." A lot of the love has grown, and we have all these releases now, these special Blu-ray releases from collector's edition releases from Shout Factory, Scream Factory. We got steel books, and Samurai Guy. I have to see this gloriously horrific, hauntingly beautiful movie in 4K. At some point, I'll be getting the 4K for sure. So, phenomenal film. Hey, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. For sure. Even if we spoiled it, still go watch it. It is very unique, and there's been nothing like it since. Alex, anything else before we wrap it up for today?
No, I think we've gushed enough about this movie. It's really,
it sucks. You know what? I changed my mind on the whole movie. Fuck this movie. It's garbage. It's just Hellraiser in space. It's trash.
I mean, it's so unique. Not just
Supernova's better.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I saw that in theater too, and it was fucking atrocious. But yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Samurai Guy's got jokes. And it's okay if you like Ghost Ship
or Supernova.
It's all right. No, that's not okay. That's okay. All right, that's it. Hey, you know what to do. In the description box below, there will be a link there where you can follow the badass himself, Alex Chung, baby. Throwing them spinning wheel kicks, baby. That's right. Representing. You got to support people that love action, martial arts, and horror, because that's what this channel is all about. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're new here. Let us know in the comments below what you guys honestly think of Event Horizon. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of our favorite motherfucking movies. All right, guys, take care.